Today we're out in the garden again for some more tech. This is possibly my favourite time of the year as all the leaves start changing colours from to rich oranges and yellows and reds, but the leaves are beginning to fall. So there's no better time than to get out my garden blower vac to tidy the leaves off the lawn before they affect the grass. So if you're thinking of buying a garden vac, don't know whether to buy a corded or perhaps upgrade to a cordless, then in this video I'll compare the new cordless Karcher against my trusted Black Decker garden vac. Hi, welcome to Rich Man Poor Tech. For new viewers, this is a technology focused channel and today's focus is on the already mentioned garden blower vacs. First off, before I start, a big genuine thank you to my subscribers for helping me reach the 1,000 subscribers inside the year. This will really help me make more videos like this one, so again, thank you. So if you don't know what these garden vacs are, then they're actually two devices in one. First off, they're a leaf blower. This uses high-speed air to push the leaves and debris into manageable piles to pick up, or you can blow them onto the borders for them to decompose over time. And second, they're a suction vacuum and mulching shredder all in one that sucks up the leaves and small twigs, etc. And then with a spinning shredding fan, shreds the leaves into small pieces before storing them in the bag to dispose of later, maybe in your compost bin. As well as leaves, you can also blow grass clippings, and I also use them to collect hedge trimmings from the stones in the front of my house. So today I have a 2-for-1. So in the left corner, representing tradition, I have the Black Decker Gw3030, and in the right corner, representing the future, a battery powered like a Tesla, I have the Karcher BLV18-200 cordless. The Black Decker is larger, but the Karcher is lighter. But with the convenience of not having to rig up an extension cable, can the Karcher perform as good as my well and trusted Black Decker unit? Which one do I prefer? So let's compare them. Links in the description below as always, showing the current prices. Now the Black Decker I have here is actually the GW3030. It's now being replaced by the equally impressive GW3050. But in all purposes it's the same, apart from the fact that the new model comes with an extra attachment to the end of the tube. But they have the same 3000 watt motor, the same airspeed at 418 km/h, the same 16:1 shredding and a 50 litre collection bag. Weight of the blower is 3.7 kilos, 4.9 kilos as a vac. So on to the spec of the Karcher BLV18-200. This is powered by a swappable and replaceable 18-volt battery, either in the 2.5 amp hour I have here or in a 5 amp hour battery. Airspeed for suction rate is 112 to 162 km/h, and airspeed for blowing is 150 to 200 km/h, which is less than the Black Decker. But with the smaller tubes, how will this affect usability? We'll find this out in a bit. Weight without the battery is 3.5 kilos. Obviously a larger battery weighs more than the smaller battery, and has a 5 litre smaller bag at 45 litres. Shredding capacity is also different at 10:1 instead of the 16:1 of the Black Decker. More differences between the machine. Well, the Black Decker has a metal fan wheel for suction, mulching and blowing, while the Karcher here has a plastic fan wheel for suction, mulching and blowing. The way the blow and suck also has differences as well. The with the Black Decker, you change from vac to blower. You have to physically change over the machine over to what you want. This means taking off the bag and attaching the blower tube, and taking the suction tube off and placing it with a grill. Now, I often misplace the grill, so I tend to carry the machine with the suction tube on and the blowing tube because the machine has a safety stop to stop the machine working if the grill or the suction tube isn't in place. And if you want to convert back to the vac, then obviously you have to swap everything over again. The Karcher, on the other hand, is far more simple. It has two attached tubes, one for suction and one for blowing, and to convert it, it's as simple as moving this lever here. You can also have you also leave the bag in place. The Karcher also has wheels on to help you keep the nozzle off the ground, and this can make manoeuvring the Karcher easier. Also being lighter helps, as does the wheels. Now the wheels are also adjustable for different angles and are fully removable. The larger bag on the Black Decker can also mean that you have to lift the machine a bit higher, and if you're small like my wife, then using the Karcher would be a lot easier. Now next on to build quality. They both come in small boxes like I have here, and have to be assembled, mainly by pushing the plastic tubes together. However, the Karcher definitely has a high build quality. The Black Decker was easier to push the tube together, but the Karcher feels like the tubes are in one piece of plastic when you actually assembled. Now, once assembled, I wouldn't want to separate either one of them back to store in the box, so just find a place to hang them in your shed or your garden. Again, there's Karcher scores, as this is an all-in-one, so there's no separate tubes to lose in your shed or in your garage, unless you count the battery and the charger, of course. Which brings us to power. The Black Decker has a long power lead to connect to your household electric supply, but you probably still need to rig up a separate power extension cable, or buy one if you don't have one. The Karcher has two batteries options, either a lighter 2.5 amp hour battery like I have here, or a 5 amp hour battery. So unless you buy the battery set, then these don't actually come with the battery, so you have to buy these separately. Unless of course you have another Karcher garden tool like a strimmer, hedge trimmer, or the Karcher wet and dry battery vac like I have here. I'll put a link to that video above as well. I also have a review on the Karcher 18 volt hand grass shrub shear coming up as well, so please subscribe if you're interested in any of these. The Karcher also has a very clever lithium ion battery pack, so it has an LCD, changeable LCD that changes depending on the operation. First, when it's not in use, it displays the battery percentage. Second, when charging, it displays how long to be fully charged in minutes. And third, when using it, it displays the runtime in minutes again, which is cool. Just to note, if you have a fast charger, then it takes 44 minutes to charge the 2.5 amp hour to 80%, and 90 minutes for the 5 amp hour battery, again to 80%. From then on, the charging rate slows down to protect the battery. So let's get on to the using. So to convert this, to the blower. The battery pack. So for blowing, that's to convert that, so I'll just try this in. So make sure you zip up your bag. So onto my review. The Black Decker, when it's converted over as a blower, is definitely a better blower. It has more power, more wind velocity, and also with the shape of only having the one tube, not having the bag underneath, although you can actually remove it on the Karcher, but not having the bag underneath, the higher velocity of wind, and that, it is actually better as a dedicated blower. When it comes over to suction, perhaps the metal fan wheel will actually be more reliable over time. Only time will tell on that. But as on suction, it does actually have more suction. It does pick up more leaves, and it is a bit quicker for the hoovering functions of this garden vac. So, Black Decker wins? Well, not necessarily. you can't deny the convenience of the Karcher. Not only is it cordless, so there's no rigging the cable up like you would have to in the Black Decker, but the ability to switch from suction vac to blower means that you could actually be finished with the Karcher before you've even finished rigging up your cable and everything for the Black Decker. So for the convenience stakes, the Karcher does win. Now they're both good at sucking up the leaves, they're both good at blowing, but obviously the more power that you're getting from the mains electricity on the Black Decker, you can actually see that once you've rigged everything up and you're starting from scratch, then the job would actually be quicker with the Black Decker. So it all depends sort of what do you want. Do you want the convenience or do you want the more power? Now, one thing I would say, if you're going for a Karcher, I mean, this is a 2.5 amp hour battery, so that's actually less power than you'd actually get in a iPhone. So a lot of power tools and that use 2.5 amp hour batteries, but it's not actually the biggest. So I would suggest if you do buy the garden vac that you actually, and you haven't got any batteries, then you buy the 5 amp hour batteries for it. Comparable for price wise, both these machines are sort of similar prices if you're excluding the battery. Of course, you might have the battery pack for some other devices. So obviously, you know, that's up to you whether you need to buy a battery pack or not. So if you've got one, would I recommend you getting the other? No. They're both equally good as they are, and it's hard to fault either one as an actual blower vac. The only difference is obviously when I'm comparing it between the two, the Black Decker being mains powered is actually more powerful, but the Karcher being battery powered is more useful. So that's my recommendations. So I'll see you in another video. Cheers. So that's to convert that back.